For all 12 universes currently in existence in Dragon Ball Super, the Tournament of Power was a novel concept. Never in the history of the multiverse were mortals allowed to demonstrate their abilities and raw power on a stage this big. But as expected, the entire thing was just a little too short-lived. 48 minutes just isn't enough for an event this preposterous, and that leads us to our video today, where we'll be going over exactly what may happen should another Tournament of Power take place. If you guys haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below to never miss an upload as soon as they go live. And just like our last what if you guys are feeling this and would like to see a part 2, be sure to leave a like, and let's give it the same goal as the last one. Let's try to aim for 2,500 likes. But without further ado, we need more, both Zeno state, as they were in perfect sync with each other. What do you mean you need more? The Grand Prix replies. Did you two already run out of all of the manga Goku-san brought you? Plus, it has been only 3 years since the tournament ended. I don't know. Do you have any ideas? Future Zeno says while facing the present Zeno. I don't know, but how about we make the Tournament of Power a regular event, the present Zeno says. Hearing this, the Grand Priest is also intrigued. Not only will this keep the Zeno duo entertained, but it's also an excellent way to keep tabs on the status of the other universes. The respective Supreme Kais and Destroyers wouldn't be able to slack off either. What a surprisingly neat idea, he thinks. Zeno-sama, would you please excuse me for a moment? I'll see what can be done, the Grand Prix states. He then heads outside Zeno's palace and calls forth all 12 angels from their respective universes. Immediately, they're all in his presence. Good day to you all. I'm sure you guys are too busy as it is, but I want to make sure we do this right, and so here we are, the Grand Prix states. Hearing this, every one of them instinctively understood that something big is about to take place yet again. From start to finish, the whole meeting lasted around 48 minutes. Everything from the present state of the universes to the future and their respective synergies were discussed. All questions had been answered, and thanks to this discussion, Grand Priest was able to understand exactly where each universe stood in terms of mortal level and warrior output. Alright, now let's talk about the exact reason I called you here, the Grand Priest states. And this is when everyone gulps. And then he continues. Another Tournament of Power will take place in a year's time. However, this one will be somewhat different. He then goes on to explain exactly what he's talking about, and then everyone is good to leave, but on his orders, no one was allowed to reveal the exact details and scope of the event. The Destroyers and the Supreme Kais were also kept in the dark, and not even the Zeno duo was informed of anything except the fact that another Tournament of Power will be happening in a year's time. So you mean we'll have to wait another year, the Zeno duo asks? Yes, the timing of the event is actually crucial, the Grand Prix says, so please my lord, just try to sit back and read some more One Piece. If you're gonna be binging that manga, then 1 year should be nothing. Though during the next year, a great number of events happen across all 12 of the universes. In Universe 6, everyone seems to be applauding the birth of a new Super Saiyan God. It had literally never happened before. In fact, the only way the Saiyans even came to learn of this transformation is because Cabba was kinda being a geek. Still though, Cabba is somewhat confused. This form is different. His hair didn't turn red rather, and yet his body had suddenly grown red hair all over it. As for the person in question, it was neither Kale nor Caulifla, no, not even King Sadala. We're talking about the Prince of Saiyans of Universe 6, Prince Sadala. During the Tournament of Power, he was only 10 years old, plus King Sadala himself was suffering from a rare disease and so neither could participate, but now, the king has made a full recovery and his son has also made history by attaining a new, unprecedented power. And so after this historical event, the proud King Sadala decides to crown his son as the new ruler. Surprisingly, the prince declines. Hey Cabba, I was told that Universe 7 has a Super Saiyan God just like me, right? What do you think? Am I strong enough to go toe to toe with him, the prince asks. Cabba thinks about it for a minute and firmly declares, not a chance. And for the last time, Prince Sadala, your new form isn't Super Saiyan God. It's something different. You're welcome to name it however you want though. And this is where Caulifla intervenes. Oh shut up Cabba, this is way cooler than anything those Universe 7 Saiyans could ever pull off anyway. Nevertheless, Prince Sadala replies maturely to the accusation that he's still not at the level of Prince Vegeta. Alright, Guess I'll just wait until I've met Prince Vegeta to name my new form. In the meantime, bring Kel and do that fusion. It's time to train. It'll be a disgrace to Planet Sadala if I'm not strong enough to go toe-to-toe with Prince Vegeta by the time we meet. Ooh, wait, another thing, Prince Sadala, Kaba states. You do realize that it's not just Vegeta who's stronger than you, right? Goku is probably even stronger than Vegeta, and we still have no clue just what kind of other Saiyan prodigies there might be in Universe 7. But Prince Sadala just laughs this off. Well, the same goes for us, doesn't it? We have no idea about the Prince of all Saiyans, he says. Similarly to both of their points, however, great events of historic proportions are happening all across the 12 universes. In Universe 11, Jiren was able to finally locate the villain who not only killed his parents, but also became the cause of his master's death. It was an emotional moment, but right as he took the demon's life, Jiren recalled something Goku said to him during the final few moments of the Tournament of Power. Goku stated to Jiren that after winning this whole thing, he'll bring back all of the universes, and once that's taken care of, Jiren is welcome to come to Universe 7 whenever he wants in order to wish his master back to life, alluding to the fact that Universe 7 also had Dragon Balls. That's when Jiren vowed to himself that he'll revive his master, but first, he'll have to kill that demon. For that reason, it took him an additional 3 years and 8 months to get it all done, but now finally, he sets out all the way to Universe 7. Quite conveniently, the Angel of Universe 11 has already informed Whis in advance. I mean, Master Gishin and Belmont shared a friendship after all. Thanks to this, Goku and the others are also able to gather the Dragon Balls in advance as well. Jiren arrives and the first thing he wants is to see his master back and alive. Yo Jiren, I've gotten about 10 times stronger compared to when we fought last. How about it? Ready to have another go, Goku asks? Jiren replies, however, bring my master back and I'll entertain all of your requests. And just like that, Master Gishin was brought back to life. Jiren bowed down and simply said, good to have you back, Master. It's been a while. Master Gishin was a tough nut to crack, however, as the first thing he says to Jiren is, you idiot, what did you do? I defeated that demon and came all the way here to bring you back to life, Jiren says. Gotta say, since it was a devil who dusted you, I was unsure if you could be revived. Looks like these Dragon Balls are quite useful though. Hearing this, Gishin lets out a troubling sigh. Listen, son, I've lived quite a long life as it is. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of years. I was just glad that I died heroically while saving my #1 pupil. Now, you soiled my mood by bringing me back to life, he says. Jiren seems confused for a second, but thankfully Vegeta's able to help him out. I think he's calling you his #1 pupil and how he was happy to have a good death, Vegeta says. That's right, young man. After you've lived as long as I have, you intuitively start seeking a worthy death. Death is what completes a man, after all. Well, I guess it can't really be helped at this point. I don't want to soil the happy atmosphere, so I guess I'll just stick around a little longer, Master Gishin replies, while also bowing to Shenron. Following this, Goku makes Jiren join the 28th World Martial Arts Tournament, and since Oob has already turned 10 years old, this was going to be a huge event. And of course, we can't forget about Pan. Goku vs Oob happened in round 3 and it was a treat to watch. Halfway through the battle, Goku recalls the energy he received during the climax of the battle with Moro. So, it was Oob after all, he thinks to himself. And then, seeing Oob's fine martial arts technique, Goku couldn't help but imagine how much of a terror this guy will be in just a few months of proper training and ki control. The match would end in a pretty satisfactory manner, with Goku giving Oob his very first taste of defeat. As for Jiren, he would face a random bodybuilder in round 1. Goku had already kinda asked him to go easy on the guy, but he still finger flicked this dude so hard that Piccolo had to go and catch the guy before he accidentally fell into a volcano. Jiren would then go on to face Yamcha in round 2. He thought Yamcha was related to Goku at first, seeing the similarity in their hairstyles, not to mention they were both joking about Krillin's new look earlier. Jiren smiles and is ready to take this seriously, but unsurprisingly, Yamcha just up and walks off the stage at this very instant. Nah, nobody signed me up for this one, he says, and then he just concedes. Things just keep getting more and more confusing for our boy Jiren, who just wants an honest fight at this point. Though, not for long though, because in the 3rd round, he faced off against the now 17-year-old Goten. Unlike Yamcha, Goten was quite excited to surprise everyone with the results of the secret training he had been doing with Trunks. The match would then begin. Super Saiyan 2 right from the start from Goten, but Jiren wasn't having any of that. He knew this was Goku's son, and that was all the more reason to assert dominance right from the start. Right away, he bestows a massive punch straight on Goten's gut. Jiren was planning on ending this with one blow, but surprisingly enough, Goten manages to block it just enough that he survives. The match continued on for about 7 more minutes, and in a lot of ways, it mirrored the Goku vs. Oob match. Hey, son of Goku, you have potential. Why aren't you even half as strong as your older brother though, Jiren asks. Oh come on, Goten replies. I'm only 17 years old, you know, and I'm plenty strong for this age, though that probably doesn't mean much in the eyes of the strongest warrior of Universe 11, though Jiren, he could see right through Goten. And to top it all off, he's Goku's son. It doesn't matter if he's up against the strongest in the universe, no way will he not feel the stench of defeat. Realizing this, Jiren charges straight at Goten and bestows a blow without holding anything back this time. Goten would instantly knock out, and Jiren would be crowned the victor. Get stronger, kid, he says. It's not a choice, rather a need of our times. Come find me if you need a harsh mentor. Sadly, Goten was unconscious, so he couldn't reply. In the 4th round, Goku versus Jiren would take place, and this time, Goku started overpowering him right from the get-go. The difference was clear as day. Jiren was no longer stronger than Goku. However, they had both already agreed to not use their ki, which is why the fight was mostly about technique. And since Jiren had been training in the way of martial arts for long before Goku was even born, he carefully manipulates Goku into stepping out of bounds. Being outsmarted this smoothly, Goku could only laugh, as it looks like he still has a long way to go himself. The various battles continue, and just like that, in the final match, we have Jiren versus Vegeta. Vegeta laughs and says, I had a feeling it'll turn out this way. Normally, I wouldn't have had a problem using my destroyer ki, but my daughter's watching, so let's not be too reckless. I see you're still as proud as always, Vegeta, Jiren replies, though it seems that is your source of strength. Whatever, my master is watching too, and I'm not losing in front of him. Is that so? Vegeta replies. Well, I've become used to taking immense damage, so this can go either way, Jiren. You're not the strongest anymore. The fight begins, and well, as expected, Vegeta couldn't defeat Jiren in terms of technique. Jiren has centuries on our Saiyan duo. The Z fighters then treat Jiren and his master to some good food before bidding farewell. I have a feeling we'll meet again soon enough, Jiren states. I'll be looking forward to it. Goku and Vegeta, farewell until next time, and then Whis would send them both back to their home Universe 11. Goku and Vegeta were satisfied as they realized that their techniques are still crude without the added swiftness of Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego. Vegeta is somewhat disappointed that he couldn't show off his true Ultra Ego state, but he can just save that for another time. Piccolo and Gohan also sat this one out. They were more interested in making sure Pan had a good time. However, just as the 28th martial arts tournament ended on Earth, a shocking event happened back in Universe 1. A vigilante would take the life of the Supreme Kai of Universe 1, and something similar would also happen in Universe 12 just 2 months later. However, in this case, it was the Destroyer that was killed. Things were changing rapidly in the multiverse. When Whis would inform Beerus of this news, he hardly even flinches though. It's their fault for being so complacent, he states. What do you say, Beerus-sama? Lord Beerus, with this development, how about you just recommend me as the destroyer of one of these universes, Frieza exclaims. He had been interning as a destroyer under Beerus ever since he was disciplined by Beerus and Whis around 2.5 years ago. Meanwhile, Goku is training Oob in the art of ki control, while Vegeta is wondering if he should train his daughter or wait a couple more years. Broly, on the other hand, who's finally making his appearance, has been practicing yoga under the guidance of a mystic from planet Shimni. He knows that if he can elevate his mental strength, his growth will become even more exponential. No one besides the Angels has any idea that the next Tournament of Power is only 2 months away, as time continues to creep past. Then, just as there's only about a week left until the second Tournament of Power, the Grand Priest gathers the Angels, the Destroyers, and the Supreme Kais of the 10 universes. At this moment, Universes 1 and 12 have been left out due to the recent tragedies that have happened, causing their universes to become unstable. It's time to change the rankings of the 12 universes, the Grand Priest would state. Another Tournament of Power is set to take place in 1 week's time. The number of contenders for each universe will remain the same, but universes 5 and 8, as well as the mortals from universes 1 and 12, will also join. Though unlike the last time, there is no time limit, and you cannot eliminate your opponents by making them fall off the arena either. No, rather this time, all warriors will fight to kill. The tournament won't end until a warrior or warriors from only one universe remain alive. That's it, and those who die will never be brought back to life. This is going to be a regular event. It'll get boring if we keep seeing the same warriors again and again, am I right? And as far as the punishment goes, the warriors who die will never be brought back to life even if their universe wins in the end. Please do not mistake this as the gods torturing the mortals, however, because the 4 universes that come in last will also have their Destroyer and Supreme Kai erased immediately. That's right, the Grand Priest goes on. From now on, anyone who slacks off dies. And don't worry though, I'll make sure to replace you with someone who is actually competent, he says as he winks at some of the Destroyers. And while all of them are still reeling from the shock of all of this, the Grand Priest simply snaps and dismisses everyone and warps them back to their planets. And at this moment, we have 7 days left until the second Tournament of Power begins, which will indefinitely include everyone, and the stakes have never been this high before.